Canon Rebel T6, or it is called here in Croatia 1300D, is an entry-level model aimed at basic users who want to jump into the DSLR world. It is equipped with pretty much everything you might need to jumpstart your photography. Depending on the market, you can buy this camera as body only or with kit lenses. I can see here on Amazon it is offered with 18-55, this is this lens, or 18-55 IS with image stabilization. My advice is to get the one with image stabilization. You will really notice a difference for low light photography and also for video recording. What would be even better, get it with 18-55 IS STM version of that lens. That is the latest iteration. It is by far the best. It has a non-rotating front element and also the best optics. Also, I can see here on Amazon it is bundled with a dual lens bundle, 18-55 and 75-300. Now, both of these lenses are non-stabilized, and having a 300mm telephoto without optical stabilization is a real pain in the ass. You don't want to go down that road. Even more, this particular lens is probably the worst lens Canon sells today. It has really bad optics. This is around 20-year-old design. If you want a good telephoto, my advice is to get 55-250mm IS STM lens. Also, from other lenses you might want to use with your Rebel T6 cameras, my advice is to get 10-18 IS STM ultra wide. This is an excellent lens for landscapes or interior shots. You should take a look at this one. This is the 24mm pancake. This is probably the best choice as a small, light and unobtrusive walk-around lens. And also, if you are into portraits, you should get the 50mm STM lens. This one will allow you to get really nice images with shallow depth of field in low light. I reviewed all of these lenses I'm talking about on my channel. You can find links to that reviews in the description field below the video. Okay, enough on the lenses, let's take a look at the camera. As for build quality and ergonomics, I got some mixed feelings. Canon used a bit cheaper plastic for this camera, but this is the case for almost all entry-level models. When in hand, you can really feel this is a basic but well-assembled model. The camera is light, what is great for portability. Paired with a small lens like this 24mm pancake, it fits in any bag and will always be with you. Grip is not very big, but will be okay for most users, since this camera will mostly be used with small and light kit lenses. What I didn't like concerns the buttons on the backside. They are flat and impossible to feel and press just by touch. I needed to remove the camera from my face in order to find the button I want. Best thing about Rebel T6 are easy controls. All changes can be observed on the LCD with easy to read quick menu. Image quality is usually quite good. Images have a bit more contrast and color saturation by default to make them look more attractive. This is the case with most entry-level models, but can be tweaked within camera settings, or you can just shoot in RAW format and adjust image parameters on PC. I'm never gonna be a food photographer, it seems. I remember to take the shot only after I ate almost entire pizza. This camera uses 18-megapixel sensor, which is quite old. It was used for the first time way back in 2009 model 7D. That is clearly visible on higher ISO values and especially in dynamic range comparisons. Native ISO tops out at 6400, but there is too much noise to be used regularly in my opinion. I wouldn't go beyond 1600 with this camera in everyday use. Shadow lifting is not a good idea since it reveals a lot of noise and bending. Similar cameras from Sony, Olympus and Nikon offer much better tolerance for this kind of post-processing. This is also the case with the new 80D. Keep in mind what I'm showing you right now is advanced stuff and practically irrelevant for beginners who this camera is made for. By the time you learn how to do advanced post-processing of RAW files, you will already buy a more advanced camera. Video can be recorded at maximum 1080p and 30 frames per second. Manual controls over ISO, shutter and aperture are available, as is the case for audio recording level. Sadly, there is only integrated mono microphone and no input for external one. Please don't mistake 2.5mm wired shutter release input for microphone input as one of my YouTube viewers with Rebel T5 did. Video quality might have been better. Colors look fine, but fine details are lacking in the recordings. Moire can be spotted in some samples, and overall too much of contrast is applied straight from the box. In low light, video is okay up to ISO 1600. Some noise can be observed, but video is still perfectly usable. ISO 3200 and 6400 show quite more noise, and I'm not sure I would like to use this camera at these ISO values. Continuous autofocus during video is not available. You can reacquire focus with halfway shutter press, but it's a slow process. All this together makes me think Rebel T6 is more a still photo camera. If you seek good video with autofocus, your best choice is one of the mirrorless cameras from Sony, Panasonic, or some of the more expensive Canon models. Face detect autofocus has 9 points. They are well spread apart. In good light it is very fast and accurate, and at central point works rather good even in low light. Outer points do struggle in the dark, as is the case with continuous focusing. At 3 frames per second burst, this is clearly not a sports camera. LCD unit is upgraded over predecessor. It still has 3 inches diagonal, but got boosted up to 920,000 dots, and I could clearly see the difference. It is still far from LCD units on more expensive cameras, but has reasonably good detail and viewing angles. LCD is not touch capable, what's a shame for an entry-level camera. Most of its users will be upgrading from a smartphone. Optical finder is average in size, but will be okay once you get used to it. At the bottom there is a status line showing exposure informations and buffer status. Battery is strong enough for around 500 shots using optical finder, and maybe half of that if you frame using live view on LCD. The same compartment holds the memory card. It's a standard SD format. Connectors are on the left side. This camera has standard mini USB and mini HDMI, as well as 2.5mm shutter release input. Menu is easy to navigate and visually nice, but lacks a lot of advanced features. For example, there is no spot metering, auto ISO control is basic with only upper ISO value selectable, lens correction covers only vignetting, there is no sensor cleaning, only one external button is customizable, and so on. Clearly, a lot of stuff is missing here, but one must keep in mind who this camera is for. Beginners would not know how to use these features I'm talking about anyway, so I guess it's better to be simple rather than confuse the hell out of you. I think Canon knows what they're doing. This is the camera for you to master basics, and once you need more, there's plenty of more advanced Canon cameras to choose from. I guess a lot of you are wondering what is the difference between this and previous model, the 1200D or Rebel T5. And I must say, not much. Rebel T6 will give you faster image processor, higher resolution LCD, built-in Wi-Fi, wide priority white balance mode, and a food scene mode. It's up to you to decide if you need these features, or will you save some money buying older model. Compared to Nikon, Sony or Olympus, Canon gives least features. It has the oldest sensor, slow burst mode, battery life, and so on. Still, don't buy just because of the features. For example, Nikon has practically unusable video mode. Each time you want to change aperture, you need to exit video mode, change it, and then engage live view again. Find reviews on all these cameras and then decide. In favor of Canon Rebel T6, I can say it's the system that you're buying, not the camera. Canon has a full set of entry-level lenses with superb optical properties at very affordable prices. Similar Nikon or Sony setup will cost you much more. I reviewed almost all of these lenses. You can find links in the description below the video. Altogether, while maybe not the best, Canon Rebel T6 will provide you good image quality in light and easy to use package. For first-time DSLR users, or even as a simple backup camera, this is a very good choice. That's all for this review. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to support my work, you can buy stuff on Amazon using my affiliate links in the description field below the video. You will not pay any more than otherwise, but I will get a small percentage from every purchase. Thanks for watching.